All right, let me get this started. All right, folks.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
We have our guys, or at least one of them. Ram is busy, but we have Josh here from Dodgers Explicit. Um, this is the Blue Madness podcast, a production of Dodgers 2080. We're here to talk all about the Dodgers and the golden era of Dodgers baseball. Welcome aboard, Josh. Good to have you back.
Yes, thank you, Tim. Thank you for having me. I'll be filling in on Ram's part. Normally it's both of us, but we'll deal with just me for tonight. But yeah, happy to be back on. Our first time at least this offseason. We were on last offseason. We talked a little bit back then. But yeah, thanks for having me on. Let's get this going.
Yeah, no problem. Well, we might as well, we were leading up. You were talking on your Instagram live. Let's talk about what's going on right now. I mean, I put out a tweet a few days ago and I just said, I don't remember the exact order, but I said Tanner Scott, Roki Sasaki, Kiki Hernandez.
Yeah.
We get those dudes. I mean, it's like what, an A plus plus plus.
I'd say a A plus 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 with a couple exclamation marks at that point.
Yeah.
I don't think we end up getting Tanner Scott. I think he's gonna want like 15 to 20 million, which is ridiculous for a reliever. But keep in mind, like a team like the Mets, a team like the Padres, which I know their ownership's falling apart right now, but a team like the Mets could possibly throw out money like that because they got to start building to beat us. And I mean, think about it. In their division, the Phillies and the Braves, Tanner Scott's going to come in and face Schwarber. He's going to come in and face Harper. He's going to come in and face Matt Olson. So he's really a good fit for the Mets, in my opinion.
He really, yeah, he is a good fit. I just, we don't like what we saw with him against Shohei during the playoffs, man. That was pretty nasty. That was the only guy that really made Shohei look really bad.
Yeah, that was probably the only guy. I can only think of one other at bat, and that was when we faced Sean Manaea in the day game, and Shohei playing about 30 years late on the fastball outside. That's the only other at bat where I can say that Ohtani looked genuinely confused.
Yeah.
But I think he's a Met, to be honest. But no, Kike and Roki would absolutely complete my offseason for sure.
Yeah, and remember way back after the World Series, Doc was talking about what he wants, and one of the things was another reliever, and so I still think that's coming. Now, could it be by trade for what's the guy with the Cardinals, Ryan Helsley?
Ryan Helsley, the closer.
Could see that. He just got 8.2 million. And then free agents wise, we got Kirby Yates. He's out there. Estevez, who finished up with the Phillies. Jeff Hoffman. There was another one too. Oh, remember it was sometime after the season ended, Paul Sewald's basically on one of those shows begging to be a Dodger. Now, he's not, he's more of a fifth, sixth inning type guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta get. It seems like they could use one more. Like we say on this one, you can never have enough pitching.
No, never. I think last year was a perfect testament to that as well. I mean, we almost ran out of pitching. Starters for sure. The bullpen was absolute nails, but the starters were getting a little shaky. Every time Jack's second go around, I was not confident. But shout out to Jack Flaherty. I mean, he held it down for at least the first start, and I mean that second start, man, that he was putting me through a whirlwind. I don't know what I was watching.
Well, I know you spent a lot of money to go to one game. I was out there going for two games, and it was looking like a big L for me.
Yeah.
My gosh, but Flaherty's still not signed, which kind of is bonkers in my opinion. I think he's a solid number 3, number 4 pitcher.
Yeah, I think for sure. I think he has the potential to be a 2. Depending on where he lands. I actually have him going back to the Tigers. I feel like that's a really good fit for him. Him following Scooball would be perfect. They don't really have a 2 after that, I don't think.
Right. Well, yeah, and it seems like with the Tigers, they're probably in wait mode because of Bregman. Someone's got to want that trash row.
Yeah. He'll bring the trash cans. He'll bring them.
Yeah, I guess it's seems like it's between the Red Sox and the Tigers, and so that might the loser of that will probably go get Flaherty maybe, or the Red Sox might go get Tanner Scott. I mean, that's where I kind of reach back around to get back into Tanner Scott. I mean, if we had a bullpen that had 3 lefties of Tanner Scott, Alex Vesia, and Anthony Banda, oh my gosh, that'd be so awesome.
No,
Talk about
that's
giving
probably the best trio of lefties I've ever seen in a Dodgers bullpen for sure.
easy, yeah,
Easy.
and it's been a long time now, but it's been what, almost 2 months since they signed Blake Snell.
Has it really been that long already?
Yeah, he did it in November, like
Oh, did he?
mid-November. It's been
Almost.
that long. Or maybe it was early December. It was before the winter meetings, though. I know that. That was shock. That still blew me away how quick they struck with that.
Yeah.
What have your based on what you've seen from your subscribers and stuff, what's everyone's thoughts about the offseason so far?
Everybody's kind of on the same path as it's going good, but everybody's just been on the bring Kike back and get Roki. That's pretty much what everybody's feeling. For me, I was against bringing Kike back until we traded Lux within the last couple days. I just thought there was no real spot for Kike, especially considering the playing time he was going to get. But since Gavin Lux is gone, I mean, it opens the door, it opens it wide open for Kike to come back. I don't know what the contract's going to look like. I don't know if we toss him a 2-year deal, a 1-year deal. I don't think he gets anything past 2.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't know what the money's going to look like. I really don't know his value because we're paying for an October hitter.
Exactly.
And in the regular season, you don't know. You really
Yeah,
don't.
I've been a Kiki fan for a long time, and of course he won me over again in October. And but I also look at him as a platoon guy, possibly with Muncy over at third.
He could. He definitely could be that.
Yeah, Muncy had some struggles, especially against left-handed pitching. I'm going to ignore the World Series. That was just a slump. That was just one of those.
No.
Oh crap! Something went bad. I'm
Yeah,
check out the chat, see what we got going on too.
Chat's just talking about Tanner Scott. Keep him away from the Mets if we can. I'll throw in my little $10 if they need it.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, yeah, it's yeah. All what is it like? DMAC does. Hey, all the things go to the Roki Sasaki, whatever fund.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. So people. So one thing, I'm gonna just kind of bring it up. And I'm not sure what it is. I think I'm trying to figure out if it's a grift for clicks or just the panic over arbitration of like, oh my gosh, Vesia and the team, they're going to hate each other. They're going to go to, and they're, we must sign him. Like, I think I got over that a couple years ago, but I see a lot of paranoia from other creators. It's like, are they really still that worried about it? Because it seems to have worked out all the time with the Dodgers.
Yeah, I can't remember any arbitration issues ever, rolling over into actually them leaving or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Or creating a bad relationship, if that. I mean, what are they, $300,000 apart, something like that?
Yeah. Split the difference and be done.
Yeah, call it in the middle. We'll meet you at, what was it, 2150?
Yeah, something like that. Who cares, right? Just get it done. And I think they will. They're going to get something done. And Vesia, hey, credit to that guy, right? He really stepped it up this year. I think the last 3 years it's been, we got to get rid of that guy. And even at the beginning of the year, he had like one bad outing and everyone's ready to throw him out. And I wouldn't be surprised if I said something.
Hey, me neither.
But for him to have proven to be a real important piece, shoot, man, who would have thought in the playoffs when Vesia had to miss a series that we'd go, oh my gosh, because that was the funny thing in the playoffs. Even our relievers were going down.
Yeah,
we lost Vesia for the 1, and we lost Phillips for the freaking World Series.
Yeah, no, that was huge. I mean, having I mean, that's why we had to leave out training in game 5 for those last couple outs because we didn't have any more arms. We truly didn't. We had Daniel Hudson, whose arm was about to fall off, he said.
Yeah.
And really missing Phillips in the World Series was huge. As far as Vesia, I mean, he's had so many ups and downs as a Dodger. I'm one of those where I kind of hold out on the ups, and I'm always like, no, it's okay. Obviously, I still talk my crap. Don't get me wrong. But
Because
I always held out that little hope.
Had your wife.
I mean, yeah. You're
I
always
always held
talking
out
your
that little
crap.
hope for him.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and Gratterall too. Even Chad, we missed Gratterall the whole year. He only pitched like what was that, 2 games in the World Series, and
Yeah,
2 games in
and
the regular season, something like that.
well, and then in the playoffs, even that last World Series game, he was not 100%. And then a week and a half later, he's undergoing surgery on his shoulder. He's going to be out. I keep saying it's going to be till July because I like to be optimistic, but with Dodger injuries, I have learned to be very pessimistic.
No, I push it back 60 days every time because I already know I'm going to be disappointed if I try to put a high expectation.
Yeah, it's like, okay, River Ryan or they've got a hangnail. Oh, 2 weeks later, Tommy John.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nope.
it's kind of the deal, but yeah, I mean, and with the bullpen the way it is, I mean, Trinan was the man, but he's 37. I mean,
Yeah. No,
that's
Trinan is the man. He absolutely owned Judge, especially those first couple games. He completely neutralized him, and obviously we know what he did in the Padres series as well.
yeah, it's video game stuff. I mean, what is it? The pitching ninja says the top two. What the top 2 guys with stuff was Trinan, and who was the other one? Was it Phillips?
Was it?
I don't know. It wasn't Phillips. It was someone else though. It was another Dodger though.
Well, speaking of relievers, Andrew Kiltridge just signed to the Orioles, 1 year, $10 million.
Yeah, I just dropped my phone. I'm excited about it. Yeah. So was he a free agent or just a re-sign of their own?
It says I don't even know where he was. I just heard the name as a reliever for sure.
I remember that name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Oh, wow. We got a $10 million contract. Good for him. Wow.
Well, that's actually pretty high for a reliever. Let's
I
see.
can't remember where he was from.
Yeah, I remember the name. I just can't put a team to it.
I know.
I totally see where you're coming from, Josh, with Kike. No, he definitely made some big plays. I mean, Kike was absolutely huge in October. My thing is in the regular season, you don't know what you're going to get from him. You really don't.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, we signed him for October, so I'll deal with whatever it comes with in the regular season. Because if he shows up in October, I don't even remember a single thing that happened in the regular season. That's how my brain works.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. I mean, I really did want to sign. I wanted Bueller back. I mean, I get it. After 2 Tommy Johns, what do you invest in? And really, I think part of it was with the Dodgers. There he is, Walker F. and Bueller. I love the dude. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of I always try to think how's Friedman and company thinking? And it must have been, it sounds like they made him a qualifying offer. When he didn't take it, it sounds like they pivoted right to Snell.
Mhm.
And that kind of knocked that, it really took a spot away, possibly for Bueller, or at least a guaranteed spot in the 6-man rotation because Roki, Kirsch, Shohei coming back, hopefully, even though he's a reliever. Just the second Tommy. Well, I guess its second one wasn't a real Tommy John, so we'll see about that.
My thing with Bueller is kind of like the same thing as Kike.
Yep.
As far as you don't know what you're going to get in the regular season, at least not nowadays.
Yeah.
And then in October, I mean, he showed up in the first game against the Padres. Miguel Rojas was trying to get us eliminated in that game that Bueller did. And then we know he shoved in New York, and then he did great in the World Series.
Shoved in New York again.
Yeah.
And twice.
And then closed the game. So Obviously, we know we're going to get in October, but I did see that we extended him the qualifying offer, and then he ended up taking an offer that was just like the qualifying offer. But I
Yeah.
think we offered him a little bit shorter than the qualifying offer, if I can remember
Well,
correctly.
no, they literally said we're willing to give you the qualifying offer. He could have just taken it.
He wanted to
Yeah.
explore his market. That was what he said,
Yeah,
right?
but even when the qualifying offer's out there, you can explore. But the Dodgers also they do this thing, and I think it's actually it's a good humanitarian type and good business to go, hey, you've been around a long time. We're gonna not do the qualifying offer so it doesn't hurt your value out there.
Yeah, which
Because
is respectable.
there's no way Boston gives him a 1-year contract with qualifying offer.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think he was gonna move on regardless. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure he wanted to be back in LA, but
Yeah.
I just felt like this was it for him.
Yeah, it does suck, but did the Red Sox? No, I think the Dodgers go out to see the Red Sox this year. Dang it.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah. Shoot,
They do.
that's a bummer.
I gotta get to Fenway this year, actually.
I've never been. I've only seen it at a distance.
I've never been.
Yeah.
Never been.
And then
Let me see.
okay. Well, let's talk. You brought it up briefly. Lux being traded. Do we really think Mookie Betts is going to be the shortstop? Showtime LA is in the house.
What's up, Showtime? See, you're talking to the biggest Lux fan, so I'm gonna be slightly biased.
Yeah.
I was devastated when it happened. Like I'm at work and I do a sales job, so I'm sitting there on the phone and one of my friends turns around and I'm literally on the phone. He goes, Lux just got traded.
Man.
Ruined my whole mood. And I'm like, oh my God, now I got to talk to this person on the phone. And my mood is completely ruined because my favorite player is gone. Was it better for the team? Absolutely. After signing Kim, it was absolutely the right move. As far as Mookie being the shortstop, I mean, the good news is he has a whole offseason to actually work on it now.
Yeah.
And he has actually some time under his belt because last year we know he kind of just got thrown in there, middle of spring training. Hey, go play shortstop.
That was crazy.
At least this time, I mean, that's the athlete he is, but
Yeah.
at least this time, he has some time to actually work on it. I don't know if you saw the video of him, I think 2 days ago at Sierra Canyon taking ground balls.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's working. Not that I doubt that he's working, but I know he's working. I saw a video of it.
Yeah. No one works harder than Mookie Betts. My biggest concern is all that work is going to have him, not be there by the end of the season. That's he wears out because, him getting hurt. How much did that factor into him being healthy and rested during October, where he after the first couple, first 3 games, all of a sudden the rest of that thing, and he batted over 290, had really good numbers the whole way through, was in the middle of everything. So yeah. I'm actually hoping he's at second base. And
no, I'm definitely hoping he's at second base. My thing is, how are we moving him to the infield to get him off his feet, and then he has to play shortstop, which is the most taxing infield position?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything's bigger. Oh, Mike Salas is in the house. I got both my mods in here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Justin says that he doesn't think Betts will be the opening day shortstop.
Yeah, they'll have to find a way to politically cover that one. Yeah, I'm with I wanted Edmund before, as we went into the offseason. I thought Edmund would be the shortstop with Mookie at second. Going from there. And it kind of left Lux out, but I think that's his long-term position. And then speaking of Lux, it's kind of sucks. Like, hey, he's a utility guy, so he doesn't even have a spot with the Reds right now.
Yeah, they're calling him a utility guy, which I mean, he can't play outfield. As the biggest Lux fan, he can't play outfield. I've seen it with my own eyes. He can't.
Oh, I think he can, but he's got to have time. He's got to play a lot,
sure.
and the Dodgers would throw him. You remember they did that thing to him? He played like one game at OKC at third base, and then they brought him up and played him. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and he threw the ball like 30 feet over the first baseman's head that game. We played the Pirates. I just saw that highlight like 3 days ago before he got traded.
Oh gosh, low light. Yeah, yeah. I
You're
mean,
right,
and
low light.
throwing for him is not his strength. Let's put it
Nope.
that way. Let's
Yeah,
see.
we'll put it that way.
Hepatitis C says Robert Jr. in center, Edmund at short, Mookie at second. If that happens, I'm all in. I'd like to see that. Let's see.
Yeah.
I still wonder, how much the Dodgers are still actually in the trade market for just thinking about it. They're always in the trade market. What am I saying?
Oh, always. Always. Friedman's never just relaxing.
No,
He would never do that.
I mean, heck, we come back just the first weekend after the new year, and he's already, signing, coming out of the blue to sign Hae-Sung Kim.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that he wasn't on the radar for anybody until that day. All of a sudden, rumors popped up about that, and then 2 days later, they traded Lux.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And as soon as we signed Kim, I kind of figured Lux was the odd man out because nobody's gonna want the Chris Taylor contract. Nobody's gonna want to pay him $12 million a year to hit 210.
Yeah.
So I figured it would be Lux. Just sucks because he's my favorite player. But
and he's also a homegrown guy. That's always for me. Is I have the affinity. I think a lot of us do. We like the guys that come up. It's kind of weird. If you're a Padre fan and you go to watch a game at Lake Elsinore, you are not going to see those guys in the major leagues with the Padres. That they're just going to trade all those guys off.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I like about Rancho is we eventually see these guys. Now, I think we've hit kind of a weird lull with the Dodgers where they really haven't produced the consistent offensive player since Will Smith.
Yeah.
Right.
We have had a little bit of a dry spurt for sure. But the good news is we got top 4 completely locked up for the next 2-3 years at least. I know Freddie's contract expires in a couple of years.
Yeah.
But we got the stars locked up. We just need those role players to fit, like Tommy Edman, like the Kike Hernandez.
Right.
So
that's
one of the good things.
And what they got, from the Reds, was this Sirota?
Yeah.
Sirota? I keep getting him confused with like the guy from Lincoln Park, and
I keep getting him confused with isn't his name Mike Soroka?
Yeah.
The pitcher?
Yeah. Oh, Mr. John Rod with the super chat. Thank you, sir. Mucho apreciado. Right on. Let's see. So we'll read that super chat. What did Vesey ask for the Dodgers turned down? Historically, the Dodgers almost never seem to go to hearing. Yeah, they don't. I mean, what is it? It was 2.05 million, and he wants 2.35. Was it 2.3? Yeah, 2.35. So it's a $300,000 difference. Yeah. So my Sharota from Dan Inspiration. Free. And then and they also get that draft pick. They get that 37th pick, which is probably going to drop down a bit after all the free agency is done. But that's bonus money in the draft pool that allows them to do stuff that they haven't been able to do in quite a while. So like that.
I mean, I trust Friedman, whatever he's cooking up. I'm at a point where if I think it's a bad trade, I'm probably going to be wrong because he knows what he's doing. So anything that happens, if I don't like it initially, I'm like, all right, man, I just got to trust Friedman.
Yeah. I mean, we look at the Mike Bush trade. We got 2 guys that nobody had heard of. Now, someone will say, oh, all of a sudden, within 2 minutes, there's people, oh, well, the Zaire Hope, the blah, blah, blah. They just read the highlights,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But we'll look at those the top 10 prospects from Dodgers prospectus, and you'll see those 2 guys
Crazy
high up there. And so, and then you got to look what they did at the trade deadline. They got the best pitcher in Flaherty at the time that was available, and then they got Kopech, and they got Edman. Oh,
crazy.
man. No,
I was kind of underwhelmed at the time just because I'm greedy. But man, was I shut up right away because those 3 pieces right there, man. Without them, we don't even sniff that World Series.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and with Edmund, I mean, he hadn't played yet.
Yeah, he had it. We know what we can get out of him. But it was the fact that he hadn't played all year, and it
Yeah.
was just questionable. Ram's in the chat. What's going on, Ram?
Hey, there he is.
He said, "Wish I could be on right now." Dang it.
It's all right. Yep. And then
Dang it.
TN mentions Jackson Ferris and Zaire Hope are both going to be top 20 prospects. So that's overall by the end of the year. It's going to be great. I agree with that. I did and because I'm really wishy-washy on prospect, but I did something just for my members, and I gave away my at the time my number one prospect for the Dodgers at the time, and it was Jackson Ferris. Ooh,
Excuse me.
thank goodness for the mute button.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness it works.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding. I don't even know where mine is, man. Somewhere up here.
No, actually, I did like that trade right away because I saw the upside that Ferris had and that he was a lefty. We don't really have very many lefty pitchers in our system, at least
Oh, I know.
high in the rankings. So
Yep.
Ferris was huge, and then Hope just has such a high ceiling, and he's already starting to climb in the rankings, as we can all see. So it's
Yeah.
definitely a great trade because Michael Busch had no business being on this team.
Yeah, well, he was as DMAC would say, man, he's going to be 32-year-old rookie of the year for the Dodgers someday. I mean,
Man,
that was what was happening.
I know.
So, they held on to him too long. Obviously, they held on to Diego Cartaya, rest in peace to his Dodger career.
Yep.
I can't believe it. How
I thought he should have been gone like 3 years ago. I was begging for them to get rid of him, and then just never happened.
yeah, well, I think at the end of the day, we're seeing that, prospects are suspects. And if you have a chance to go get elite talent, you got to go do it.
Have to, especially if you're in win now mode.
Well, yeah, or like the Dodgers do, they actually reload on the prospects like they did with Michael Busch.
Yeah, which was, I
Cubs
mean,
they're gonna hate that.
oh no, they'll hate that. They'll hate that in a couple of years when Michael Busch is their 35-year-old 6-year player.
Yeah, and I like Michael Busch, but as a first baseman, terrible position for him because the numbers aren't going to work. Let's I want to pull up. Let's go through those prospects real quick. Let me get it ready here, just to see what we've been talking about. I'm allegedly a prospect site, so that's good. All right, where to go? Where to go? Where to go? Is it showing the wrong one? Showing the wrong one. Let me fix that real quick. I can do this. Let's see. I know. Well, I'm using Restream for the first time. So, or in this mode, I used it like last year. Oh, there we go. So the top 10 prospects. Let me zoom it down so we can see everything. All right. Can you see it?
Yep.
All right, cool. Let's go. We'll go backwards. Well, let me fix that a little bit more. So I think the only real surprise was Kyle Hurt being number 10, considering he's probably miss the whole year and just kind of been a reliever. Number 9, River Ryan, who in 20 innings was just awesome for the Dodgers.
Awesome.
Yeah, he was the guy. The quick riser, I don't know how much you've heard about this dude, but I saw him in spring training. Eric Swan. Eric with the Q.
Never heard of him, if I'm being honest.
So I saw him in spring training last year. He was part of the 2023 draft class. And I was able to get up pretty close. It was one of the days I had a media pass, and my gosh, sometimes you can just see it.
Yeah,
you can just see it. And so for him, it's a matter of command, and maybe that's where it's coming along, or they're going on the high side. I mean, it's Mike Salas out there. Yeah, I was surprised to see him in the top 10. Now we get to the guys that I'm like, yeah, these are the ones I expected. Yoendry Vargas, who hopefully will be at Rancho this year. Emil Morales will probably be in Arizona. He's a power hitting shortstop. Yoendry Vargas doesn't have the power of Morales, but he's got a better hit tool. Speaking of shortstops, Alex Freeland has taken the Dodger organization by storm. He was a guy like in the, maybe the top 20. And now he's, for the Dodgers, now he's shooting up to number 5. Jackson Ferris. I mean, there you go. The man who they must play or trade, Dalton Rushing.
Outfielder Dalton Rushing.
Yeah, maybe Conforto is just that 1 year thing, but they got to figure out a way to get his bat in the lineup. It really might. I expect him and Freeland to debut this year. Rushing,
Really?
if it's just based on merit, it would be Rushing. But if there's an injury, Freeland could be up. And then a guy that I've been on his bandwagon for quite a while now is Josue DePaula, who's his eye is like Juan Soto. He has that feel. A little bit more power this year, which is good. We really want to, some of us really want to see him get going with his power. And then Zaire Hope, who is just an amazing athlete. He's a 5-tool player. He missed like at least 2 months. And then so we got a dude right in here going. TNs goes. He's got Hope first, then Ferris. So that's the top 2 guys from the Cubs. Then he's got DePaula, Rushing, Morales, Ryan, Vargas, Quintero, Freeland, and he's got Quintero twice. So he must really like Quintero.
Man.
So Quintero is a young guy. He debuted last year in Rancho, or I saw him. When he was throwing the ball from center field to third base, we all had to kind of scramble in the dugout over there. He was just launching rainbows, man.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, let's go back to us. So that's oops. Let me hide this one. There we go. Oh, look at that. All right, I'm learning this stuff.
There you go.
Let's see. Will these guys at spring training travel against MLB level? Okay, so the way that works, there will be some of these guys will be invited to spring training. If Alex Freeland for sure will be invited to spring training. Dalton Rushing, maybe DePaula, maybe.
He got a little bit of run last year, didn't he?
Yeah, but so that was a special thing. So what they do, there's two things. There's the official non-roster guys, and then every day they go pick a few guys for that game, and they give them a jersey. It's usually starts with it's either 89 through 94. Doesn't have a name, whatever fits. And Oral Hershiser said back in the day when they get things like that, they'd get $100 extra for those. So yeah. So wow. I'm sure they're getting some type of a little thing just to get called into those things.
Yeah.
So that's how that works. And then they'll show up. They'll have all those guys at the Angel games, the Angel Dodgers games. That's where DePaula saw him quite a bit. Gosh, we saw Kendall George, the guy. Yeah, it's always an interesting. It's fun to watch. It's fun to see those guys get a shot at least.
Yeah, no, I definitely enjoy keeping up with the young guys. I was gonna kind of ask you about Alex Freeland.
Yeah,
or was that his name? Was it Alex?
Yeah, Alex. Yeah.
Okay, because I always check the prospect rankings like throughout the year. And I don't ever remember seeing his name. And I checked in September and he was top 10.
Yeah.
And then he just kept getting higher and higher. And I'm like, geez, where did this kid come from? He's a shortstop and we need a shortstop very soon.
Yeah, he started the year really hot at Great Lakes and then got promoted to Tulsa. His numbers went down and then he got promoted to OKC and the numbers were fine. relatively speaking, they're similar to what he had in Double A. But what they like is some of the tools that he shows. There is some speed and power. Not sure how much that's going to translate at the big league level. And the
Mhm.
one thing I haven't seen, I've seen the eye test. Is he going to be good enough at shortstop? It's just tough to tell without the metrics that you can see on some of these other guys. We don't have their defensive runs saved or outs above average or things like that.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's a shortstop. Um, I don't know how. Oh yeah, I mean it was really surprising to see him rise like that. He was same draft as rushing, so those guys are really making that one look good.
They're
There's
trying to make it run like what was it, 2016?
what tolls?
No, I'm saying they're trying to make a 2016 run. Was that when we drafted like Will Smith,
Oh
Lux,
gosh, yeah.
Dustin
That
May?
was there's only 3 guys left from that, and that's Will Smith, Dustin May, and Tony Gonsolin. But that draft produced a ton of really good players. That
Crazy.
well, and it's not necessarily, oh my gosh, they became great Dodgers. Well, some of them were traded,
Yeah.
you know.
Happens. Got to move on.
Yeah, I mean, and like you said earlier, there's a window here for winning more World Series, and they just got to pile that on and hope that they can keep growing, um, keep growing some players, and and for me, even as a guy that actually talks to some of these guys face to face, I want what's best for them, and if it means getting traded from the Dodgers to another team where they're going to advance quicker, I'm all in because I want these
Yeah.
guys to make that money. It's a
Yeah.
big difference, man.
Yeah. Oh, I've been hearing.
I mean, 800,000 versus what max 200,000 in at AAA maybe if they're on the roster. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Oh
So
yeah.
got to get some money. Let's see what it got. I'm looking. Oh, so Mike Salas brings up another shortstop. His name is Noah Miller. We got him in the Manny Margot trade.
Sweet.
When Kike was traded, he just got
Yeah.
to hit better, but he's one of the best defensive players in the system. Let's see what
Really.
else we got. What else is going on in the chat? Let's see. Yeah, Jacob Amaya was a guy we all were hoping for. It turns out that was a really good trade getting Miguel Rojas for him because he's been DFA'd a couple times and moving on. Yeah,
Amaya's from isn't he from Fontana?
yeah, he's a local guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he
Then
went to
Justin Lamas pointed out I guess he was looking back at like a 2021 list, and the 1 and 2 guys were traded for Scherzer and Trey Turner. I do that every day. Next guy traded, number 4 bust, 5 bad last year, 6 DFA'd, 7 traded for Glasnow, must have been Papio, 8 solid player, I think it might be Pajes. Number 9 nowhere to be seen. Number 10 traded for Rojas, DFA'd by 2 clubs already. So I mean, and the guy, JoJo Gray's has been good, but he's got Tommy John. I like Keibert Ruiz, but I would make that Trey Turner Max Scherzer trade all day, every day.
I'll
And
do it again.
yeah, like tomorrow. I mean,
Yep.
you always take that chance because they did have a really good team lined up. Just injuries killed them.
Yeah. I mean, that was the year Bueller's arm was dead that year. Scherzer, obviously, we know what happened to his arm.
Yeah.
Just ran out of arms again.
Again.
Happened.
Well, it happened. It's happened 4 years now. So anytime I see people going, "Hey, we can trade Landon Knack and Justin Robleski," I don't think so. I think you got to hold on to all your pitching. The only pitchers I'm trading are the guys that are lower. Here's a good question, real quick, Tim. Who is a prospect you really think will jump up in the rankings this year? I'm going to go Christopher Campos. He was also in the 2022 draft, right? Another of the millions of right-handed pitchers, but he's stepped it up. I think he's a guy we're going to start seeing in the list pretty soon. And then someone was asking about what do you know about Jose Vasquez, trade piece for Cartaya? As much as I knew about Zaire Hope and Jackson Ferris when we traded for them, which was whatever I read as soon as I can find them. Other than with those two guys, they were at least in the Cubs top 30, so there's something to read. This Vasquez guy wasn't even the top 30 for the Twins, so
Yeah.
um,
I mean, at least we got something out of him. Something.
yeah. It sucked. I know Diego a bit, talking about Rancho, and just all around a really good dude. And it was 2 years ago now where he was, I mean, DMAC had him on his show. He was like one of the stars at Fan Fest. It's like, oh, everyone wants to talk to Diego. Like, no more. Any of these prospects, leave them alone. Dodger media team, stay away. Just
Yep,
let them be themselves.
Don't infect them too early. Don't infect them too early. I
Yeah.
did see, Dan Inspiration, I think that's his name.
Yep.
Just pointed it out. He did have an 80 RA. I definitely looked at his stats and I thought, oh, well, something's better than nothing.
Yep, and it's barely.
Yeah.
Justin asking, is Maddox Bruns a bust? No, he's been hurt though, so that's kind of a problem. He was actually last year in my what I thought was the Andrew Friedman untouchable list. Last year that was DePaula, and it was Yoandre Vargas, and it was Maddox Bruns. Now I don't know what that is, but he's a guy that's really good, but he was getting it together, but he's falling apart. And then we got, if someone mentioned Bobby Miller, speaking of 8 ERAs,
Jeez,
there's no
8
way,
ERA.
right? He can't be that bad, can he?
No, he'll bounce back. I don't know what it was last year. Sophomore slump, we'll call it. I think he'll move forward. He'll be a decent arm. I don't think he'll ever be an ace.
Yeah.
I'm kind of moved on from there, but I can still see him contributing, getting some innings in. Because, like you said, I mean, I'm not gonna put any expectations on Dustin May and Tony Gonsolin. I'm done doing that. I've did that for the last 3 years. I'm not doing that anymore. But
Yeah.
those guys, they got to come in and throw a couple innings and give the big dogs some rest in the middle of the summer. Let them skip a start. Let them sit out for a fake blister, whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna need that in September and October.
Yeah, you can't have a fried pitching staff again by the end of the year. I mean, I think part of Flaherty, like where he was struggling, was usually the second start in a normal 5-day rest. It seemed like he could have used another day off.
Yeah.
In between.
No, definitely.
I think he was just toast. He hadn't thrown that many innings in a while. I mean, Buehler had short innings. Yamamoto was injured, so he missed a lot of time. Snell will be fine. He might get off to a bad start, and people are gonna go crazy about him. But by October, he's gonna be fine.
That's fine.
Yeah,
he can get off to a bad start. I won't overreact about a 2-time Cy Young winner.
I think after this year, it's gonna be 3-time.
That's what I literally said that earlier today to Ram. Actually, I said I think Blake Snell actually is going to win Cy Young again.
Yeah, it feels like it. It's just like, wait. First of all, I mean, how much does that guy love being a Dodger?
That's what I'm saying. So he posted about it when it first happened. He reposted about it the other day.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure if you watched our podcast we did with Cole Roberts.
No, I didn't.
So we did a podcast with Cole Roberts the other day. And
cool.
he told us that as soon as he signed to the Dodgers, he called Doc and he was fired up to be a Dodger, talking about how excited he is. He's been wanting to be a Dodger pretty much. He also said that they talked about how they're going to get him a third Cy Young and ultimately get him a World Series ring. And that was some cool insight that, he's genuinely excited to be a Dodger.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it takes him. I think it's going to take him up another level.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. Mike says my question mark is Glasnow. Yeah, that's, man. Don't even start pitching that guy till like July, because he is awesome. Right? He's totally awesome when he's there.
He's awesome when he's available.
Yeah, but he just seems to. I don't know. Glass seems to fit a good beginning of his name.
Yeah. I kind of got a question for the chat. So I've been getting this for a couple months now, especially since we signed Snell. Do you guys think I look like Blake Snell?
What do you guys think? Does he look like Blake Snell?
The people have genuinely been telling me I look like Blake Snell. Like it'll be a total random video from weeks ago, and there's still people commenting this guy kind of looks like Snell.
What do you guys think? Come on.
We actually have a really good video idea, not involving Blake Snell, but it's something that is gonna be a good video, especially because of the whole look I got looking like Blake Snell apparently.
We got Mr. Classic says yes. Justin says no. TN says Snell light. Thing is, you don't have those droopy eyes like he does from playing video games all night.
No, I stopped playing just in time, or else I would.
You got to get there. You just got to meet Snell. Maybe at FanFest or something like that.
No, my problem was if I start playing video games again, my eyes will go red if I stare at the screen for about an hour.
I bet, yeah. Let's see.
I gotta hear him drop the F-bomb.
Yeah.
Like Snell, the F-bomb is unique.
Flip your hat over.
Let's see. I don't know how my front looks right now.
Let's see. Get a Snell jersey. Yeah, I don't know. I could see a little bit. Let's see. Yeah. Patient Al says you look like him. Yeah. There's something there. I see it. Let's see. D-Mac looks like Will Smith.
In a few years.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
Let's see. Make sure if you get Snell on your podcast, don't pull him in the 6th inning. we'll leave him in. We'll leave him in.
Yeah. Greatest. Thank you so much. Greg Bergman looks like Chris Taylor. Maybe. Maybe. I know Greg.
Dress up as Snell and try to walk into the bullpen or dugout during warm-ups like the Klay Thompson guy did. Have you ever seen that video, Tim?
No. What happened?
So there's a guy. I forget that guy's name. Somebody type his name in the chat. I used to watch him as a kid, actually. He's a really funny, like a prankster YouTuber.
Okay.
But he looks like Klay Thompson. Obviously, he's a lot. I don't want to be mean. He's a lot fatter. You can tell. And he walks in. He like scans all his stuff. They let him through. He already has his jersey on and the shorts on, like while he's walking into the stadium, which Klay Thompson does not do that.
No.
But it's funny because they genuinely let him in, let him walk in. Big DOS TV. There you go. They genuinely let him walk in from the players' entrance. They let him step on the court. And like, mind you, he's full jersey like 3 hours before the game on the court taking shots. And then he got banned from the Chase Center after that because that was not right. But definitely his best video, his blow-up video for sure.
Yeah, the thing is, Snell's like 6'4".
Yeah, I'm not 6'4", man. He got 4 inches on me.
Yeah, he's big dude. But
Big
yeah,
dog.
I think you should, if you could ever hopefully maybe get a media pass or something like that and go in the locker room. Someone will say something.
I hope.
I bet if you get a media pass and get in that clubhouse, someone will go, huh?
Yeah,
like Kike or someone like that, or Miggy Rowe or something like that.
Yeah, we asked Cole Roberts too. He said he sees the resemblance a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little.
So we'll see.
Yeah, is Cole still playing or is he done?
No, Cole's still playing. He announced it on our podcast, so I'd assume I can announce it on here. He got a spring training invite with the Phillies.
Oh, very good. Okay, I actually saw Cole play in high school. Cole Roberts play baseball in high school. Yeah, down here. I'm in San Diego.
Oh yeah,
he was at a private school with some kids I used to coach.
Yeah, Santa Fe, I think.
Santa Fe Christian, and they were playing Westview, and I got kids from Westview, and so I went.
There you go.
That, and it was, I guess it was an off day. Doc showed up. That was the first time I met Doc.
Really?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say 2017, 2018, something like that. Yeah, and so that's the first time I met Doc, and it was pretty cool. But yeah, Cole he was a shortstop on that team. The kid I coached played second. So good for him though. And I met at one time. Me and my youngest were going to spring training in 2019,
Yeah,
And we get on the plane and I see Bud Black. So I'm like, shoot, I'm sitting in that row. So I sat in the same row as Bud Black. At the same time, even before we got in the plane, I see Roberts' family come on, the wife and
really.
the 2 kids. So said hi, just said, hey, hey, what's up, so that was a cool flight going out to spring training.
Heck
Um,
yeah.
Bud Black was a really good dude. Then I saw him at Costco like 2 months ago. He lives down here.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't say nothing to him, but
That's funny.
it says Walker Bueller 6'2". No, he's not. I've stood next to him. No. 6 foot, maybe.
Yeah.
They lie about that stuff, man. That starts way back in high school.
No, that starts early.
Yeah, and it goes on Max
Yep.
Preps,
Yep.
he's 6'2" and he's really 5'11".
Yeah. You go on those websites like Max Preps, you see he's 6'2", 195, and then you see him in person and he's 5'11", 150.
Yeah, well, that
That's not
was
the same
I
guy.
remember seeing, some kids on my kid's high school team, and seeing that, I'm like, "What the heck? He no, he ain't 6'2". He's barely my height, maybe."
Yeah, I had a friend, he was on my high school baseball team, and he was my height, and they said he was 6'3". I'm like, I'm not 6'3". I know he's not 6'3". Don't do that.
Was he some type of prospect or something like that?
He played multiple sports, so
Okay.
they got to line it up across all sports. So one of the coaches decided to up him a little bit.
Yeah, probably the football coach.
Yep, that was probably it.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
was probably it.
Oh, Devin saying you lie about that. Yeah. Yeah, they do. They care about that stuff, and it is for no reason. That's where it's kind of getting interesting as I see kids at Rancho. And it started a few years ago, when we had Edwin Uceta, Gerardo Carrillo, and
Wow.
they were listed at 6 foot, but they were 5'10", maybe 5'11". And then I start seeing more of them, more like pitchers who, when my kids were going through sports and all that, they were like, oh, you got a minimum of real 6 foot, probably more, we'd prefer you much taller. Doesn't matter anymore. They're counting on those the angles, things like that. There's, because if you have everyone 6'5", it's all coming at the same angle, but you go, oh, I've got 6'4" Blake Snell, but then I'm gonna go with 5'11" Alex Vesia after
Yep.
that, or I can't think of some other guys, but Evan
Dude,
Phillips isn't that tall either. I mean, he's maybe 6 foot.
yeah.
Bobby
Yeah.
Miller's a big boy.
Yeah. Or what about that? What about that one guy from the Giants? That he's like 6'11". He's
Yeah,
only
that was
50
that was
games,
mentioned in the
but
chat. That
yeah,
that takes a lot to get all those parts moving. That's why when it does move and it becomes like Randy Johnson, it's
yeah,
it's amazing. It's scary.
yeah. It's the same thing like Aaron Judge. How are you that big and that good?
Yeah. Yeah, but
Scary.
you can see he can get beat. You tie him up in those types of things, but
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
see. Zaire
Like
Hope.
Training knows all about that.
Yeah. Zaire Hope is like 5'10" and still has crazy exit velos. Yeah. He's a strong dude. That dude is thick in a good way though, but he's actually built like a running back. The real thick lower half, but
Yep.
not Jock Peterson lower half, where it's just because he got big, or like what's his name? Soto, his lower half. They're gonna get fat. But
Yeah.
Hope, man, it's like, oh, that he's strong. And that the one thing is, it might be almost too much muscle. And I don't know what his injury was, because the Dodgers never say anything. But I was wondering about that. But he's a stud, absolute stud.
Mm.
So yeah.
I'm excited. I think I had a conspiracy. It's probably wrong. It's all right. Conspiracy
No,
for a reason.
I don't have my tinfoil hat, or I put it on.
No, but I was thinking we didn't really want to give Teo that 4th year because of all the outfield prospects we have, and thinking that they'll be ready by then. I mean, how true is that? Because think about it: Josue De Paula, Zaire Hope, Kendall
Mhm.
George. will those guys be ready in right after Tails contract's up? Probably.
Oh heck yeah,
They'll
Devin.
be ready to go.
I gotta go, Devin. Pause.
Come on, Devin. Come on, Devin. Don't do that.
uh
Smaller version of Puig. What do you think about that? Is that your hope?
maybe, but not an idiot.
Hope not.
Actually, really, having him at Rancho, good. The Dodgers draft good dudes. That's the thing. They draft a lot of really good dudes.
Do you
Just
think
to
he'll be
say,
at Rancho again?
huh?
Do you think he'll start at Rancho again?
Oh, he shouldn't. If he does, that's a mistake.
Mm.
It would be a huge mistake.
Start at Great Lakes then?
Yeah, he should. But last year they did that thing last year with DePaula. I mean, he had been at Rancho for 3 months and then comes back and I was shocked. I was like, "What? Starting the season again like that?" So that was a little crazy. But no, we'll have a fresh batch, and it's gonna be the last year of Rancho. You heard about all that, right?
Yeah, they're moving to the next city over, Ontario.
Yeah, saves me a couple minutes. That's about it.
Yeah, couple minutes.
I'll take it.
Maybe 3 minutes at most.
I know. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I mean, I've got a good relationship with those guys at Rancho. You guys got to get out there, man. You guys got to get out there. Got to get you a media pass.
Yeah, no, Rancho, we gotta for sure go to Rancho this year for sure.
Yeah.
Stop by, see what's going on. I used to love going as a kid, trying to get as many baseballs as I could. I'm
Yeah.
not doing that anymore, but I'll enjoy a good baseball game.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. One of the things, the bottom of the media pass, it says no autographs.
No
Yeah.
autograph.
Yep. They don't say anything else. You can take pictures. I've done that plenty,
Yeah.
Actually, one of the funnest things I do in the dugout is I'll give my camera to a player. Let him go a little bonkers. I'm not going to give names because as soon as the manager gets close, they give it right back.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
But it's always pitchers. It's always pitchers that aren't that starting pitchers or something like that.
Yeah. They're down anyways.
Yeah. Oh man, they're fun too. It's great at the end of the dugout where the media where we hang out. Mike Salas, we've been in the dugout together. We saw one of the guys didn't make the top 10 was Chang. The Korean guy that they had last year came up at Rancho. He looked good. He looked good for an inning and then would fall apart the next inning. But young guy throws real hard.
Real high ceilings there.
Yeah, real high ceiling. It seemed to really fit in with the team too. It was pretty cool to watch him fit in with the team. That was kind of neat to see. The guy learning English. I think he knew the F word pretty quick.
Oh yeah. It's not hard to not hard to learn.
On the baseball field. I mean, even the most Christianese guys, they're letting out the language of a sailor, man. Yeah, Hyun Suk Chung. That's Justin was talking about. Yeah, my brain don't work. At least I got his last name.
Yeah, I saw his stats weren't too good, but I know that the ceiling is there, and like you said, he would have a good couple inning or two, and then after that it would get a little shaky. But that's one of those things that I trust the Dodgers development system to develop him and be ready in a couple years.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, we're gonna start building up the Koreans, and we got one more. We got to get the 3 samurai. We got to get Sasaki, man. So to get everything clear for everyone, so on the 15th he can sign, which is Wednesday, and then he has until the 23rd. After that, if he doesn't sign that contract, he goes right back to Japan. So that is a possibility. Is that he doesn't sign because maybe he goes, hey, you know what? I'm going to wait till next year and get $1 jillion. At the same time, and Mike Salas will point this out for sure. The dude's raw. He is not Yamamoto.
No, not
He's
even close.
I don't know.
He
Put it
was
this
actually
way.
he was actually really shaky last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's had his injuries. He's only pitched over 100 innings once. And it's just the ceiling is super high. And it's like, well, are you gonna go? And I still think it comes down to the Dodgers and Padres. And I, in my head, no inside info, 70% that he goes to the Dodgers. Padres, though, I mean, they're a mess. These lawsuits and everything like that.
Hey, I love it.
Yeah, I know. It's
I
like
love it.
my Padre fans down here all of a sudden very quiet.
Yeah, they've been quiet. They still haven't scored. I'm counting. They still haven't scored.
Yeah. Oh, so perfect. Having either Tatis, Profar, or Machado make the last out. I wish it could have been all three of them right in a row.
At
But
one time, yeah. I wish it was all three of them at one time.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that was
My only hope for the Padres is they do re-sign Profar. He's just such a good villain. Those guys are so weird.
no, they love to play the mental game. They love that.
Yeah.
You were at game 5. We saw you at game 5, right?
Yeah.
That was that was the funnest game I ever been to.
That was crazy, man. That was so because I went up and I went up even higher than I went to the very top row and just hung out there and enjoy. And it was I was checking my pulse, and when the Dodgers were hitting, it was at 100. When the Padres were hitting, it was a 120 without fail. That was so because it was like they're gonna break out of this, right? The Padres they can't. And they couldn't do it. It was so awesome.
Yeah. No, that was I think I sat down 3 times that game, and it was in between innings to rest my legs.
Yeah. Because you were in left field pavilion, right?
Yeah, left field pavilion was crazy. It was like a party out there, like legit party.
Oh yeah.
That was the funnest game I've ever been to for sure.
Yeah.
And just the whole we were so there's the walkway, and then there's the first row down, and we were the second row down.
Okay.
And the people behind us were cool. So like anytime something happened, like when Teo and Kike homered, we jumped up and ran in the row, and we were jumping around with all the Dodger fans.
Oh, nice.
And then when we won, of course, we're jumping around. There's beer flying everywhere, hitting our face. It was crazy. That's my favorite. My favorite game. My favorite video that we put out was the Dodgers Padres video. That's on our channel. That's
Dan. So Dan inspiration. I did get my cookie dough at that one. It was game 6 against the Mets. I didn't get my cookie dough. They had a scoop of cookie dough you could buy. So when the Dodgers would win, I'd go get that. So after game 6, I go down there and they're out. But
dang it.
And of course, I was in New York when they clinched there, so I obviously couldn't get it there. Oh, my man Trinidad's in the house. But at the parade, I was able to get it. At the not at the parade, but at the stadium, I was able to get it. It's so freaking good. Trinidad, how are you doing, my man?
What's up, Trinidad? What's going on?
I gotta get Trinidad. He's works with me. He just always working hard, man. Can't get him on here. We'll get him on here sometime. Well, as Trinidad, now you can see I finally got it figured out how I don't have to use Zoom and I can do this. So it works. Let's see. The Chibalote Marines have similar pinstripes to the Yankees. Well, he doesn't need any pinstripes. He needs Dodger blue because everybody looks better in Dodger blue. I mean, he's going to –
everybody.
Who wants to wear those Padre uniforms? Those are butt ugly.
I don't want to be a UPS worker. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm good.
Brown. Well, yeah. And then they have those Spumoni ice cream colored City Connect things. They're so hideous. I'm just so glad I'm not a Padre fan because I know people that they have to act like they like that stuff. It's hideous.
No, they have to put it on and act like it looks good. I mean, I know with me when I throw on my jersey, I'm happy. I know
I
it
know.
looks good. The white and blue, I know it's gonna look good.
Well,
They
you
got to
could
throw
put,
on their poo poo brown.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
And the thing is, you can go years of this. You can go back into the '80s where they got little outlines of the little white outlines on stuff, or you could get the like the spring training jerseys, right, with the blue. Well, they did it with the City Connects a couple years ago. They said Los Dodgers and not Los Doyers. Come on,
Yeah.
got to do it right. Um, but yeah, you just can't go. I got so many different jerseys of the Dodgers. It's gotta get. I can't wait to get my gold one though, man.
Yeah. No, I can't wait.
Just trying.
I actually forgot those are gonna be coming out. I gotta for sure be ready for those.
Yeah, it'll go really fast, so you got to get on that thing. And
For sure.
the problem is that they'll offer it for 5 guys, and so definitely be Freddie, Mookie, Shohei, duh.
Duh.
Probably Yamamoto.
Probably Teoscar.
I don't know. They should. I wanted Bueller, but they won't have that.
Not anymore.
I did get my youngest though a Bueller World Series jersey. So I gave it. So Bueller signed on the 23rd. My son got it on the 25th. But he knew it. I mean, he had
Yeah.
said he wanted that anyway. So that
Yeah.
it doesn't go bad. A Walker Bueller jersey has no expiration date on it.
No, never. Especially what he did this year. That jersey's
Yeah,
valid at the stadium forever.
it is absolutely. Yeah.
Dan says, who do you guys think the Dodgers will trade by the trade deadline? If Kershaw comes back, I think Gonsolin is traded or May. I actually think neither of those guys will be traded because what in the heck is their value right now?
Well, yeah, I agree. And you need the depth. I'm just
Yeah.
not trading. I mean, just the thing is, I think one of them still has options, so that's good. Not good for them, but good for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trading any pitching unless I'm getting pitching in return.
Yeah.
That's the only way
No.
I'm doing it. But
No,
hopefully,
I'm keeping all pitching right now.
yeah, hopefully they don't have to make those trades again.
Yeah. Hope not.
But if they do, they'll pull the trigger and get what they need to do. But oh yeah, that disaster of a uniform from last year, dude. Jeez. And then the old Potter uniforms did look good. Actually, they had one in 2016 because they had the All-Star game, and their home jersey was kind of cool. It was in some of their older jerseys they had, like way back in the day, were pretty darn cool. Yeah, bring back Majestic. No kidding. Yeah, that whole was it Fanatics and all that stuff. They got to do better, and they got to keep the weird artsy fartsies away from baseball. We have
we got to keep the classics.
Yeah, baseball has perfection in those uniforms.
Yeah.
Let's see. Trinidad saying, Trinidad saw the rumor. He can't sign this weekend. He can't sign till the 15th, but he can make a decision. But
he can make a decision, but until he signs that dotted line.
With every other international player, it's listed somewhere where they're going. But if Sasaki says he's going to go to the Dodgers, the Dodgers will get in trouble if it's before the 15th. Because they've been saying that this has been rigged the whole time, that the Dodgers are going to have them all set up.
I guess we're just ruining baseball. Dang it. Hate ruining baseball.
Okay. TikTokers out there. So TikTok is going to be sold, right? And I can't remember the one guy. He works with Mark Cuban on that show, Shark Tank or whatever. Can't remember his name. The other owner is frickin' Frank McCourt, the guy who almost killed Dodger baseball. He will be a half owner of TikTok, along with still owning half of the parking lot receipts we get.
Really?
Yeah, we can't escape that guy. That weasel. I mean,
Can't get away from him.
I mean, it was people. We actually there was pretty much a boycott going on. What are your thoughts about Vesey going to arbitration? I'm not worried about it. I think they'll settle, but even if they go, it's um it'll make Vesey be even better. I mean, geez, I don't know how he can get any better than he was this last year.
You can't just repeat it, and I'm happy.
Amazing, yeah.
Repeat it, and I'm happy.
Yeah, and with the Dodgers, I mean, geez, the way pitching good. I still can't believe that he was down. Wait, he got hurt. Was it really celebrating in that Padre game in Game 5? He walked off the mound or something like that after, or was that against the Mets? No,
No, that was the Padres.
yeah, and he hurt himself getting all pumped up or something like that. It sounds like.
Yeah, I remember I saw we took him out the game, and I'm like, because I believe he only came in for 1 out, so I'm expecting him to go back out and get another out or two.
Yep.
And I see he's out the game, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Then I open up Twitter, and I see he's left the game for undisclosed reasons. I'm like, oh, geez.
Yeah.
And then it comes out later on that it was from celebrating. I'm Jesus, come on, Vesey,
Come
relax.
on, dude. Way too funny, man.
You gotta stay healthy. What are we doing?
I know. And then, well, hopefully Evan Phillips is healthier through the year because he really had a rough one with his health, and I was really bummed for him not to be on the World Series roster. Well, for him personally, but also we obviously needed him. But
for sure,
somehow he had the Max Muncy injury. Oh yeah, but fortunately he didn't get it as bad as Muncy did. I mean, Muncy, that was the classic one, right? Oh, he's gonna miss a couple days, and he missed 3 months.
I'm telling you, those anytime
the oblique, yeah.
I mean, anytime the Dodgers say something about an injury, you can just add 60 days and expect that day then.
Yep. Yeah.
No joke.
It is no joke. And they seem to it did seem to catch an epidemic last year with the pitching. Worse than ever, but somehow they pulled it off. I still
holding the trophy.
Yeah, I will look back on this and it really is that it's the performance of Dave Roberts. I mean, it's earned him never to have to worry about his job again with the Dodgers. He will never get fired. I mean, Joe Davis, I watched an interview with him. Joe said he interviewed him game 4. He was interviewing pregame game 4 against the Padres, and he goes, "God, this might be my last time interviewing Dave Roberts as the Dodgers manager." It was that close, and it, you know what? It would have made sense, but now forever and ever.
No,
he's the guy.
He's absolutely earned the right to be the Dodgers manager until he wants to be. We like to call this past October, we like to call it Doctober, because he was the show. He put everybody in the right positions to win. Not that he hasn't. I mean, last against the D-backs, we just flat out didn't come to play. But I mean, this year was a total different story. We started off cold. I know we won game 1, then we lost games 2 and 3 against the Padres. And then something just flipped. I mean, there was times when in the regular season I would see him put someone in, and I'm like, man, why are you throwing him at this time? In the postseason, I had no questions asked. I thought every move was right, and it was. I mean, it worked out.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Doctober will live on forever.
Trinidad brings up a good point. Can we show some love to Gavin Stone? He led the team with innings pitched, 140.
Absolutely.
He was great. Yeah, he was close to being an all-star. Like a couple starts before the all-star game, he stumbled those were like his only stumbles.
Yep.
But I remember I had a chance to talk to him like a few days after. You remember he no-hitted the Padres for like 6 innings at the beginning of the season.
I mean, he was huge. We had, again, when no one was available, he was.
Yeah.
Every single start. And then obviously, he goes down with the injury. But again, you can never have enough pitching, because there's guys that will throw 100 innings and go completely forgotten because there's just so many injuries that you don't even realize it.
Yeah. And Trinidad makes a good point. I mean, Dodgers do not win the division without Gavin Stone. So
Mm-mm.
even though he was on the postseason roster, he earned that ring as much as anybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was excellent, and all the best to that. I mean, they got in 2026, man. If those guys really start coming back, ooh, we're gonna be in good shape.
Bad news. Bad news. All we got to do is win this year. We got a three-peat in line.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
see it.
I mean, it's so funny. I mean, I still remember doing this podcast after Game 3 against the Padres, and everyone was ready. We were all ready to throw everyone off the team, right? Except maybe Shohei. Everyone
Yeah.
else, Robert's gonna be gone. Trade Mookie. Get rid of Freddie. I mean, it was get rid of everybody,
It
and
was
it's
bad.
understood, right?
It was bad. I mean,
It
2022, we lose to the Padres.
Oh,
2023, we get swept by the Diamondbacks. And then
Oh.
2024, we come out. We go down 3-0 really early. Thank
mhm.
God Shohei saved us. We win
Yeah.
that game, and then they win the next two. And we got a bullpen game. But you know who I like to credit?
Hmm.
I like to credit the Padres front office and just
Oh,
the
yeah.
Padres in general, because thank you for pitching Dylan Cease on, what was it, 3 days rest?
Yes,
Thank you, Padres. Thank you.
exactly. And you know what? They had that dude Martin Perez. They could have just thrown him out there and had Cease and Darvish ready for Game 5. They were so stupid. Yeah, and a lot of people still remember. Well, they'll say Shohei sucked in the World Series. Well, first of all, he was hurt for most of those games.
Yep.
But second of all, yeah, that home run off Dylan Cease and the emotion that he showed, I'd never seen him that fired up, man. That was awesome to see.
That was
And it was
awesome.
pure natural. It wasn't that phony Tatis stuff, right? It was just like, no, man, I'm fired up. I want to win. And that really changed things. I don't know if they would have destroyed Perez, but I knew they were going to destroy Cease. Just a matter of could your bullpen hold up, and boy, they did.
Yeah. No, they did. They did. After that, I didn't question the bullpen for the rest of the playoffs. But no, as soon as they announced Cease, I promised, I told all my friends, we're gonna win this game. Sorry.
Didn't Landon Knack finish that game? I
I
thought he
mean,
did.
yeah, we blew them out that game. Lux hit the useless homer. I think we probably won that game by 6 or 7 runs.
Yeah, it was cool.
And then we were able to load up the big dogs for Game 5 again.
Yeah. Well, and even with that, Yamamoto had such bad numbers against the Padres.
Oh yeah, and I
The
was still
whole year.
plenty confident
I was
because
scared.
he just seems like somebody that would show up in the big moment. I
What-
actually wasn't scared. I don't know why.
What was your dude's name? He actually predicted the Padres score.
Yeah, his name is Brandon, but
Yeah.
yeah, he predicted the final score correctly actually for game
Yep.
for Game 5, which
Yes,
is crazy.
he did. It was like, no way.
2-0. Yep. Who guesses the 2-0 scoring is right? It's crazy.
Oh my gosh, no kidding. Yeah, but yeah, and that was Yamamoto turning it around, right?
Absolutely.
Because Game 1 he was shaky, then Game 5 nails. His next 2 starts were nails. It was, in some ways, you go, maybe he was a pitching MVP. Well, Trinan was actually the MVP of the pitching staff. I mean, my gosh.
Man. Training.
Did you see Doug's interview with him?
I did not.
It's
I did not.
fantastic. It's one of the best. It's Doug's best work, and because Trinan, man, he just lets it. He'll talk.
That's good.
Yeah,
Blake, if you see this, jump on our podcast, man. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, we'll talk to Blake at spring training.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll talk to Blake at spring training. We'll try to work something out with him because I've been loving me some Blake training.
Me too.
I have been loving him since we got him. When he had that huge season with the A's and then he came over to us.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I wrote in that offseason, I wrote an article. They just released, all the players that were not getting contracts, and Trinan was one of them. And I wrote, "Get that guy." And Yeah, that was one of my better calls.
There you go.
Yeah, he is fantastic and one of the leaders of that team in general.
Yeah.
A real smart guy too. Oh, someone brought him up. Tony brings him up. Brent Honeywell. Never forget Brent Honeywell.
Legend.
Yeah, gets a ring. I still think they sign him as a with a minor league contract and invite him to spring training
I can see that.
because he hasn't been signed yet.
I can see that. I would
So-
like that too.
Yeah, and no, hopefully I really hope if he does that somehow he can make the opening day roster just to be at the stadium for the ceremony.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Because he will get some loud cheers.
Yeah, everyone's gonna wear their turtlenecks, man.
Yep.
Dude's wearing a turtleneck, 100-degree weather. Yeah, it's like everyone buckle up, man. It's Brent Honeywell. We got to get the mullet though.
Yep.
Oh my!
I don't got that, but I know he does.
It's too late for me on that, man. Yeah. Well, let's end let's end in a couple minutes maybe. But hey, tell your story about going out to Bronx. I know you and I kind of went out. We almost were probably on same flights or something. But tell us about your trip out there. People have heard what I went through.
Yeah, so I mean, the night of game 3.
Yeah.
Actually, let's take it back to the start of the year. We have an opening day video. In the video, we literally said our main goal is to give ourselves a chance to see our team win the World Series. We literally said whether that's in New York, whether that's in Houston, we're gonna go out there and try to give ourselves a chance. So the night of game 3, we already saw the momentum. Thank you, Sal, for putting that in the chat.
Yes.
We already saw the momentum that this team had. We saw Ice Cube's trash performance, and we knew we were winning game 3.
No, not Ice Cube, Fat Joe.
Oh, sorry. Ooh. Bad look. We saw the Fat Joe's trash performance, and we already knew we had won. It was just a matter of, getting that last out. And as soon as we got that last out, man, I don't even remember how much we won game 3 by, but we had already bought the flights like in the 8th inning.
And
And
you jumped the gun. I waited.
Yeah, no, we in the 8th inning, we're like, okay, like this game should be over. Like, let's buy it. So then we bought it, and I'm like the ticket guy. I don't know how. Well, I know how. I don't want to release my secret to the public, but I got this way of buying tickets, and I can always find a good deal. So my gut was telling me, okay, I'm gonna wait till right after the Yankees lose. They're down 3-0. Everyone's gonna start selling their tickets because they don't want to see their team get swept.
Right.
And as soon as the game gets over, I'm seeing like 600, or I'm seeing 700, 750. I'm like, okay, these aren't bad. And then those go away, and then I'm seeing like 800, 900. I'm like, oh man, like
I know.
I need to jump on these. And I see a set of 6 go up. The set of 6, they're 580 each.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
as
that was
soon
good,
as I could,
folks. That was real good.
as soon as I could, I go boom, 3 tickets, click buy, boom, double tap, and I wait for the load, and it goes, you got them. I go, we're going, let's go. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we headed off to the house. So obviously the next morning comes, we head out to the game. Flight goes smooth. We of course run late because we're still kids and we're stupid. Mom would have told me to go a little earlier, but it's all good. And then we actually landed at Gore. What is it, that airport called? LaGuardia?
Oh, you were in LaGuardia? Okay.
LaGuardia, yeah. So keep in mind, to get on the train, from LaGuardia, you have to go to Queens. So we're right by Citi Field at this point.
Yep.
So we hop on the
Subway.
we hop on the subway. I couldn't even think of the name. I was gonna say the Metro Link. We hop on the subway, and we meet this Yankees fan. His name is John. So John was really important on our journey. Yeah, John is for sure not watching this, but shout out to John. As soon as we get on the train, he goes, "You boys here for the game?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're here for the game." We're trying to be nice because we don't know what we're getting ourselves into in the Bronx.
Right.
So we're like, "Yeah, we're here for the game." He's like, "Okay, cool." So we start chopping it up with him. We're just talking. He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm from Queens, but I'm a Yankee fan. Like all my friends are Mets fans." blah blah blah. And then we're like, yeah. He's like, you guys going to the game? And we're like, yeah. I'm like, are you going? He's like, well, I'm not going to the game. I'm going to the bar outside, but
Mm.
I'm still going to the stadium. We're like, okay, cool. So we just continue to talk. We start talking about the Bronx in general. And he goes, yeah, I mean, if you guys want to, you guys could just follow me. Now, mind you, I had no direction of like the Bronx. It was my friend
Yeah.
who was actually texting me all the directions because because we had went in June and he took care of all the directions.
Oh, nice.
So I had him just texting me and I'm like, hey, this guy's telling me to follow him. Like, I'm gonna just follow him. He was super cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why I put my trust in a random Yankee fan, but I did. And so he goes, we're gonna hop on this train, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. I'm like, okay, cool. So we follow him. I don't remember what train it was, but I think it was the 2 train or something like that. But let's just say the 2 train was delayed.
Oh no.
The 2 train was crazy packed. I mean, we tried to hop on the 2 train maybe 3 times when it came by. It was fully packed. Not a single human was getting in there.
Oh
So
jeez.
I open up my Google Maps and I look how far we are from the stadium, and we're exactly 2 miles away.
Whew.
And I'm like, ooh, all right, guys, like we got a couple options here. What should we do? And we start talking about it. We're like, all right, we're gonna wait for one more train to come by. And if we can't hop on, like we gotta walk.
Yeah.
So the train comes by, it's still crazy packed. And I said, all right, guys, we don't got enough time. We don't got no time to waste. We gotta walk. So we start walking, and that was probably the worst idea ever. Because we walked through downtown Bronx with 3 Dodger jerseys on and a Yankee jersey because
Oh.
John went with us.
Ooh.
But we're walking through downtown Bronx. John's telling us all about where we're walking by, about, whatever they got going on over here. I don't want to say it on stream, whatever they got going
Yeah.
on over here. So I'm like, oh, okay, like this is a little scary.
Yep.
So we're just walking and John goes, hey, you guys be careful right here. It could get like a little messy, especially if there's people outside. So we're like, all right, like no worries, like whatever. We're like, dude, should we take our jerseys off? Like, be honest, John. He's like,
Yeah.
no, you guys are good. You're good. Okay. So
Oh
we
my
walk, and I
God.
kid you not, as soon as we hit the corner, there's 5 dudes huddled up. They see us in Dodger blue. They all like stand up from where they were sitting down. They're just staring at us. They're just talking crap. And I'm not gonna say anything because
Mm-mm.
I'm not in my city, so I'm good.
Yep. Yep.
'Cause me personally, I'm a crap talker. I'll talk crap,
Right.
especially being up 3-0. But I'm nowhere near home, so I'm good.
Yep.
So they're talking crap. I don't want to, cuss too much, but just what are you guys doing over here? Pretty much. Y'all got us messed up, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And mind you, we're walking like right next to them now. They're right here. We're just walking right next to them. And they're like pressing John. They're like, hey, homie, why you a Yankee fan walking with these Dodger fans?
Oh, geez.
And luckily John goes, nah, like they're cool. They're my cousins. They're cool.
Oh, geez. Cool for him, man.
So we're like just walking, and he's like, nah, why are you bringing your Dodger cousins downtown Bronx? And he's like, nah, man, it's not even like that. Like, we're just trying to get to the game. Like, don't trip. It's all good.
Right.
So we walk by them, and we're just telling John, like, bro, thank you for sticking up for us. Like, whatever. So we're still walking. We still got an hour to go. Or I'm sorry, we still got like 30 minutes to go at this point. We walk by some more places where he's like, watch out, it could get a little, messy around here. And he did this thing where he was walking in front of us.
Yeah.
And we were spread out, like it was probably like me, Ram, and then we brought our other friend named Jeremiah.
Mm-hmm.
And randomly, like John just like is standing in front of us, and he like, I can't do it because he won't be able to see me, but he like went like this, like to walk on this side of him, because there was another group of like 4 or 5 dudes. And I kid you not, like I'm looking out like out of the corner of my eye, and they're just eyeballing us like crazy.
Yeah.
So now it's like probably like an hour before the game. We're still 30 minutes out. We make it to the stadium, and we're just telling John, like, thank you, John. We sent him some money for helping us out.
Oh, heck yeah. Good for you.
And we're like, thank you, John. Like, he's like, all right, you guys, like, this is where I'm gonna leave you guys. Like, be safe. He gave us his number if we needed help getting back. So John was really a great dude, for real. John really helped us out.
Shout out to John, man.
Shout out to John. But I kid you not, as soon as he let us leave his side, He goes, all right, y'all, I'm gonna go this way. This is where the bar is. We're like, all right, John, like, thank you, bro. Like, enjoy the game. As soon as he leaves our side, these three Yankee fans walk by us and they're like, welcome to the Bronx, boys, and like mad dog us. And we're like, whoa, like out there, it is more than baseball to them. Like
I know.
it is more than baseball to them, truly. And it's more than baseball to me.
Right.
But when I'm not in my city, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. So my
Yep.
mom was super worried about me going out there. I'm barely 20, y'all. So my mom's still gonna worry about me.
Yeah.
So she was worried about me going out there because of the mouth I have. She knows that I get to talking. But in New York, I was not talking. So we get into the game. We get into the line. It's pretty cool. We meet a couple of people that recognize us, which was super cool getting recognized in New York. I thought that was the sweetest thing ever. And then we just enjoy the game. Obviously, we lost that game. But it was super cool. And then on the way back, we were sitting next to a couple Dodger fans actually, and we were talking to them. He's like, yeah, I live in, I think it was Manhattan.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, you mind if we just like roll with you over there and then we'll Uber to the airport? Because we didn't even get a hotel. We literally
Right. Yeah. You're just going for it a day trip.
Yeah. So we went to Manhattan with that Dodger fan, talked to him. He goes, all right, guys, my house is over here. This pizza spot's good. If you guys want to eat pizza, we ate pizza, went to what's the place with all the lights? Times Square. Went to Times Square for a little bit. Went to the airport and went to sleep and then got on the plane. But I can confirm, you guys, please do not walk downtown Bronx with Dodger gear.
Yeah.
Not during the World Series, at least. Please don't do that, especially not by yourself. If we were by ourselves without John, I legitimately think we probably like could have gotten seriously injured.
Yeah, I got that vibe there. Now I was with my wife, and so it was constantly. I need to have eyes on you. You need to just, when I say to move, you need to move because I'm moving her left and right. Of course, we walk right before game 5. We walk by, and because everyone's smoking weed on those streets. I don't know if you. And I walk right by a lady with a stroller with her baby in there, and she's smoking weed. I'm like, really? Come on, man. My wife and I were sick for 2 weeks after that trip. Just because of the stank of the Bronx. It was bad.
Yeah.
It's really too bad. It shouldn't be that way. I mean, you're in New York and it's a bummer, but yeah, we were careful with what we wore, especially after game 5. Once we left Yankee State, right before we walked out of the gate outside to go onto the streets, we changed. We had enough. We put our gear away. Like, there's not doing this.
No, it was crazy. Yeah, we actually did walk. That's not a fake story. I promise you, we walked. That was probably like the scariest hour of my life.
Yeah, geez.
It's no joke.
Yeah, for us, for after game 4, we just didn't know the lay of the land. We didn't get our Uber until 1 a.m.
Jeez.
It was we were so jacked that we didn't know what to do. It's like we just didn't know. And when you got your wife with you, you got to behave differently, right? You have to you have a different concern. I was just gonna my original plan, I didn't know she'd want to go, but I was just gonna go by myself and just kind of do what you not even get a hotel, just go for it and I was gonna stay the second night if I had to, but yeah, when she went more than. Yeah, obviously made the cost higher, but at the same time, she, it was great to have her there. We had a great time, and maybe kept me from getting killed.
There you go. There you go. You can look at it like that.
Yeah, she there. Yeah, we saw after game 5, I thought this dude was just gonna slap his woman up, man. He was screaming at her. It's bigger than baseball. They were just some of those people were pissed off. A lot of them were pretty cool though.
Yeah, no, we definitely met a couple like very, very cool Yankee fans.
Yeah,
but man, it was for Devin saying next time pick JFK, brother. We were doing the cheapest option. We bought him the night before. We did not have a choice.
Yeah, we didn't have choices either, and that was just like. I'm sure, we were just one of the many that were probably trying to get on those planes.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Same
It was
time, man.
crazy.
I'll do it again.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I'm doing the same thing next year. I promise.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll do it. Well, we'll see. It depends. But it was such a blast doing it because I was at all the clinching games.
Yeah.
And that was the goal.
Oh,
Usually back when I was back in the younger days, I would go to everything, but I just can't. It's just between work and you get a certain age, your energy goes. Sucks. It just absolutely sucks.
yeah, man. I'm starting to feel that way myself.
No, dude.
It's like-
You just don't know, man. Just take care of yourself. Everybody take care of yourself. Let's see, we got Yankee Stadium. Yeah, you never walk. Just be thankful it wasn't Philly. Yeah, no kidding.
See, here's the thing with me. Like Norm is saying, just be thankful it wasn't Philly. I would love to go to Philly and be in hostile territory. I I I love being in hostile territory if it was like an even series because then we can really talk crap back and forth
Yeah.
and not get too salty. But with being down 3-0 in the World Series, we were kicking their butts.
Yeah.
So
Actually, to be honest though, at Petco, where everyone's supposed to be so nice, I have been threatened 3 times.
oh yeah, no. Petco's they're all fake nice.
And I don't do anything.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't, I'm not doing anything. And I've had serious, just like, woo, especially game 4 of 2022. It was getting, as soon as the Padres took that lead, there was some dude like getting right in my space. I'm like, and I was with my wife again. It's like, we need to go.
Yeah.
It's like, this is going to get way too hot. And yeah, it was, and it's like, no, you need to stick with me. Don't. It's like some people they don't understand. People don't understand, especially there's a lot of ladies. They don't understand the danger that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Nah,
I am not. Yeah, I am not provocative, especially at the stadium. I don't. Even to all my Padre fans, I've still been relatively kind to them, but every day that I've gone to work, I've had a Dodgers polo on since the World Series win.
I can't hate. I can't hate it.
Gotta keep, and I'm gonna keep doing it.
You got to remind them.
At least for another couple months and until everything kind of resets, and then we'll see.
Yep.
We'll
As
see.
soon as that regular season hits, I'm about to go back to the black polo for a little bit.
Well, then it becomes, crap, man, fire Dave Roberts. All that stuff.
Nah, man, I better not hear that this year. I'm serious. I
Not
better not hear that from anybody this year, man.
No,
After what just happened, that better not come out of nobody's mouth this year.
yeah. Even though with some of these things, I've seen people freaking out about losing players or, oh my gosh, we didn't get anybody yet. It's December.
Yeah.
It's like,
Relax.
we're all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on to the show. This was fun.
Yeah, no, this is fun.
Long.
Yeah, no, this is a good time. We'll talk definitely off air. We probably want to get you on next week on our show.
Okay.
Whenever you have the time.
Hopefully we get to talk about Sasaki being a Dodger, man.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Hopefully we can line it up like that.
Heck yeah.
That would be cool. But yeah, make sure everybody in chat. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys would subscribe to Tim, subscribe to on my channel as well, Dodgers.explicit. We have been releasing a lot of good videos, especially recently. We just released our full game 1 reaction to every scoring play. We've been trying to dig deep in the bag and figure out what to upload for the supporters. We also got our Dodgers versus Padres video at the stadium. That's our biggest video right now on YouTube. If you guys want to check it out, I was telling you guys how we were jumping around getting beer thrown on us. That's in the video. Trust me.
Cool.
That's in the video.
Yeah, and they are definitely one of the top follows on Instagram. And TikTok if you so choose before
If you so choose before it goes away. But yeah, we got I think we killed it on YouTube for the playoff time. So if you guys want to check out all those videos, we got the full game 5 reaction.
Oh, cool.
We talked about, flying to New York. That experience is on our page, and then we got the Dodgers World Series parade on there as well.
Yep. So go. It's Dodgers Explicit. We're yeah, we had you on when you guys were just a little channel on YouTube. Now you guys are doing really well, and keep doing the good work. You and Ram are doing a great job, and
Appreciate that.
keep it up. And it was really cool to meet you in person in Game 5.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
And I'm sure, hopefully, maybe spring training, opening day, or something, we will we'll get to hang out a little bit again.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Maybe
We'll be
I'll
out
even
training a lot.
I'll buy one of them scoops of chocolate chip cookie dough, man.
There you go.
It's just
There you go. I got to experience it for myself.
it's so freaking good. All right. Well, thanks everybody. As always, we appreciate you. Thank you. God bless and go Dodgers.